a nice deal around here. I was driving around, flying around. This is some pretty country out here. This is some pretty country. I think I need to learn fly fishing. Get some waders. Go out there, clear my head. All right, we may have to come back to Missoula. Couple of quick thank yous that I want to make. First of all, I haven't seen him, but I believe the mayor may be here. Mayor John Egan. Is the mayor here? There he is. Give it up for the mayor of Missoula, Montana. Thank you. I want to thank Nathan for the wonderful introduction. Please give Nathan a big round of applause. I want to thank University of Montana students for Barack Obama. And I want to acknowledge the president of the University of Montana, who's not here, George Dennison, but his wife Jane Dennison is here. Give her a big round of applause. And finally, I want to acknowledge my local organizer in case you run into Pat Lane. Give Pat Lane a big round of applause. Well, I have been running for president of Missoula for 15 months now. Which means that there are children who have been born and are now walking and talking since I started running for president. And I announced on the steps of the old state capitol in Springfield, Illinois, which is the building where Abraham Lincoln served for most of his life before he went to Washington. And it's the city where I served for much of my career in state government before I went to the United States Senate. On that day of the announcement, there were a number of people who said to me, Barack, why are you running this time? You are a relatively young man. Why are you running so soon? You can afford to wait. You can afford to wait. And I had to explain. We can't. That I'm not running because of what Dr. King called, I'm not running because of some long-held ambitions or because I think it's somehow owed to me. I'm running because of what Dr. King called the fierce urgency of now. The fierce urgency of now. Because he understood it, and I think we all understand that there's such a thing as being too late. And that hour is almost upon us. We're at a defining moment in our history. Our nation is at war. Our planet is in peril, and the dream that so many generations of Americans fought for feels like it's slowly slipping away. And you see it here in Montana, you see it all across the country. Just over the last several days, we marked the 5th anniversary of the war in Iraq. We have now been in Iraq longer than we were in World War I, World War II, or the Civil War. We marked 4,000 young Americans dead. Thousands more grievously injured. It has cost us so far over $500 billion, will cost us well over $1 trillion, maybe $2 trillion, by the time this thing is over. And it hasn't made us more safe. We're at a defining moment in our history. Our economy is in a shambles. And if you have any doubt, just look at the statistics yesterday. 80,000 jobs lost. We've lost 230,000 jobs since the beginning of this year. But even though Wall Street just figured out that the economy is not working, the rest of the country has understood it for quite some time. We are now probably in a recession, but we have been growing over the last 6 years. The economy's been getting bigger. Here's the thing. This is the first expansion since World War II where wages and incomes have not gone up during the expansion. In fact, the average income for a family has gone down as much as $1,000. And you see it in your own lives. People are working harder and harder just to get by. They've never paid more for gas, never paid more for a college education, never paid more for health care. It's harder to save, and it's harder to retire. If you've got health care, you've seen your co-payments, deductibles, premiums going up and up and up. But 47 million people, they don't have health care at all, and you don't go to the doctor unless you get sick. Our education system, despite the slogans, leaves millions of children behind, unable to compete in the global economy. In such circumstances, we can't afford to wait. We can't wait to fix our schools. We can't wait to fix this economy and provide good jobs and good wages. We can't wait to fix a broken healthcare system. We can't wait to roll back global warming. We can't wait to bring an end to this war in Iraq. We cannot wait. That's why I'm running for president of the United States of America. When I decided to run, it was based on the belief that the size of our challenges had outstripped the capacity of a broken politics to solve. And that the American people were looking for something different. And they were tired of a politics that was all about tearing each other down. They wanted a politics that was about lifting the country up. The people were tired of spin and PR out of their politicians. They wanted straight talk and honesty. In other words, I was betting on you. I was betting on the American people. Now, some of you know I now live in Chicago, but I'm not originally from Chicago. I moved there after college to help churches who were trying to organize when the steel plants closed. Thousands of people had been laid off. And they hired me as a community organizer, and I worked for 3.5 years trying to set up job training programs for the unemployed to bring economic development to communities that had fallen on hard times. And it was hard work, but it was the best education I ever had because it taught me that ordinary people can do extraordinary things when they're given an opportunity. That change in America It taught me that change in America doesn't happen from the top down. It happens from the bottom up. It happens because the American people are a decent people and a generous people, and they are willing to work hard and sacrifice on behalf of future generations. And so in this election season, I was convinced that if we could just bring people together, if we could get past the divisions and the toxic politics that we've all become accustomed to,